Hey guys, this is Builder, and this is a video of my game with me and NecroDMI versus Kyp Durron in Silent Night. So, we start off. I don't have any hills nearby, which I would much rather have, but unfortunately there's not much I can do about that. There's no really good place I can move. I find a nice gems tile, which is probably the best luxury in the game, because it gives you 1 extra gold per turn compared to silver and gold, which are already really strong luxuries. So I'm probably going to want to settle nearby that soon. Anyway, so this is a team game we have. My team has China and Greece, which is a pretty nice combo. We'll get the strong companion cavalry, which are the horseman replacement with 2 extra strength and an extra movement, and I believe they make great generals a little bit faster. And China comes with their faster great generals, which give them a bigger bonus, and the Chokonu, which is a pretty nasty unit. So all in all, we have pretty nice civs. They have pretty good civs too. They have the Mongols and the Aztecs, who the Mongols have the fast-moving great generals, and they have the funky knight replacement, because it's completely unlike what the normal knight is. The normal knight, is a frontline mounted attacking, melee unit, whereas the Cascading is the 5-move, 13 range strength ranged unit. And that thing can be particularly nasty, especially if you can't click fast enough, because essentially they'll be able to attack you and just run away every single turn, and you can't ever damage them, and they'll just eat up all of your units. So anyway, me and Necro are trying to corner Kyp Durron's warrior. I'm not sure if Necro wanted to corner him there. Maybe he was just trying to move, and then Kyp moved onto that tile. So, but we're able to get him. He doesn't kill off his Necro's warrior. Again, starting with the granary. Because I have the double granary resources. So I'm going to heal up my warrior a little bit. It's always nice to heal in your territory as opposed to out of it. You heal at double rate in your territory. Although sometimes you don't quite make it up because you have to move back to get to it. And that might have been the case with this where I moved back, because it would only taken 3 turns for me to heal. But So, Necro is scouting around behind us with his scout for city spots and such. I decided that I wanted to go free settler this game, just because I really want to get that gem spot before they do. So I see there's a jaguar there, and I don't really want him getting in my way, so instead of just waiting for him, I attack him, because he's on an open train and he's in an open train, so he gets a combat penalty. So that right there was pretty much the mistake of the game. because I gave my unit a promotion, and then it flipped over back to the settler, and it made it so that he moved first instead of my warrior, which is a huge mistake. Because you want to move your warrior first to see what the threat is in front of you, and then if you're if you get it good, or if you're safe, you can move your settler, and if it isn't, you can pull your settler back. But in that instance, I gave my warrior promotion, and then then the game flipped over focus to my settler, and I didn't notice, so I thought I was moving my warrior, but it really moved my settler. And as you can see, I threw my settler into a situation which was really bad. I ended up losing both my settler and my warrior because I moved my warrior first. Maybe if, yeah, just not a very good thing to lose your early settler. So I'm switching over to production focus. I might have mentioned this already, but it's almost always a good idea to switch over to production focus when you're building a settler, because the way the settler works is that you don't starve when you're working settler, and you, with the liberty policy, you're getting plus 50% hammers on your settler, and that doesn't apply to food. So it's good for you to work as many hammers as you can. So you're getting 1.5 hammers for every hammer, but only 1 food for every excess food. So that almost always speeds up your settler speed. You can always just look at your hammers per turn and see what maximizes your hammers per turn while you're building the settler. And also you can look a little bit at your gold if you want to keep your gold flowing. But yeah, so manage your workers to get maximum hammers and get that settler out quickly. And so just now Necro found the Fountain of Youth, which is kind of a silly wonder. It gives 10 happiness to anyone who settles on it, which is ridiculous, and it also gives double healing to any unit that has been next to it, meaning that it's awesome, and everybody wants to get it, because 10 happiness is ridiculous 2.5 luxuries, and there's only like 4-ish luxuries on each side of the map. So that means that right there you have 2 extra cities, with the happiness completely paid for, up to 2 population. So you definitely want to be the one with Fountain of Youth in your game. And so I decided that since I don't have the military really to support anything, right now I'm just going to found behind me instead of founding up. I think I'm going to found on one of the recommended city spots it gave me. I need to move my scout back so he doesn't die. What Kyp is doing is he's establishing a wall of units, so he can essentially hold us back from his territory and be able to push us whenever he wants. He'll be taking up the mountains in the mountain range, so that, yeah, have a nice little wall to protect everything he has. Sending my settler down. Now, for my first city spot, when I come back to think about it, I believe I should have built a city on on a spot with just more hammers, because right now I'm running behind, and so I want to be able to build stuff to be able to catch back up, because I lost a settler, I lost a warrior, and so now I'm gonna have to build up stuff. I'm gonna have to neglect, say for example, building the workers to get that settler and a couple warriors out. As you can see, I'm last in the game right now in military. So it would have been nicer to set up, maybe I should have settled that, my second city on a hill, next to a hill. Behind me. Just because right now my little city, expansion city, isn't really producing much at all right now. A warrior in 12 turns, whereas a one on a hill can make a warrior in 7 turns or so. Warrior on a hill working a hill can do it in about 7. So they've seen the Fountain of Youth now, so they know the Fountain of Youth is there. So they're going to try to claim it. And I'm going to try to go up and try to help support Necro in his attempts to settle a city on the Fountain of Youth. So that is something you really want to get. And it's a nice spot too, because it's defensible, it has mountains around it, and it's surrounded by hills, so it takes a while to come in and get to it. And did I mention the Fountain of Youth gives double healing to all units that are standing on it? I'm not sure if I did. So essentially any unit that's been next to it can heal 2 per turn outside of their territory and 4 per turn inside of it. So I'm looking for another spot. This next city I settle on some hammers, which is nice. But there's nothing much else where I settle. Would have been nice maybe to get some more iron, maybe a luxury, but I wanted the hammers, I needed the hammers, so that's where I settled them. I mean, it's a reasonable spot. It's on a river. I'll be getting some gold from it. It has the hammers, it has some food tiles to work, so that's good. So Necro gets out of city, and he's instantly able to upgrade his units to a couple of warriors to swordsmen, because he has the iron up and he has the gold, so you can get that. Again, I'm thinking about moving my unit back, but I decide I'm just going to plop him down right there. So, right now, I mean, I lost early settler, which is always a bad thing, but we got Fountain of Youth. It looks like he'll be able to defend it for a while, which will mean he'll be able to have some extra happiness, bigger cities, good stuff. And so although I might have screwed up, we might be able to pull this game out. We'll see what happens. So I'm thinking about moving my warrior up because I want to get the double healing on as many units as possible. It's very nice to have. But unfortunately, it's kind of blockaded off by Necro with his swordsman, because he has to have, units in the area. We tried to research horseback riding much more quickly than we usually would have, because we're just trying to get to companion cavalry, which is a very nice unit to have. And then the other problem with the Fountain of Youth is it's all next to hills, so we can't just like move a unit next to it and pull it back to have multiple units like go next to it, which is pretty annoying. I have some pretty significant unhappiness right now. I haven't been improving luxury because I don't have very many workers. So, my next city will give me... a new city gives you 4 unhappiness. And when you found that city, you better be sure you don't go under 10 or go to 10 unhappiness when you found a new city. So I'm at the limit right now, founding a new city. Because if I were at 6, I'd go to -10, which gives you the production penalty and the can't train settlers and the military combat penalty. You never want to go into that. Never. I mean, maybe for 1 turn, 2 turns, but probably not a good idea. So as you can see, Kyp has made a nice little wall of his warriors in the mountains. Very defensible. And there's a mountain in front of him, so he can see over it, and we would have to step onto that mountain to attack him, which would kill up all of our movement, which is pretty good. For him, of course, not really for us. So I'm preparing myself to build kind of a replacement for that settler I lost. I'm going to build a city near around the gems. I realize I probably shouldn't be farming because I'm in unhappiness, and so building a farm really doesn't help you. It's probably a better thing to just be chopping forest to get the hammers, because as I've said before, you want to chop the forest as soon as possible, well, quickly, because as your city grows, it'll get more and more hammers, and the chop will become less and less important, and so you want to get that as early as possible when it's most significant. I mean, of course, you want to mine your iron relatively quickly, but of course, building a chopping forest is much more important than building farms when you're unhappy. The only time where I think it might be alright is that if your city's starving and you need to support your city by having a farm. But otherwise, you probably shouldn't be building many farms when you're in an unhappiness. Well, I guess, unless you're about to swing into major unhappiness, you're about to improve a couple luxuries or something. But still, I'm not coming out of unhappiness anytime soon. There's no reason for me to be building farms in my capital. I should be improving hammers and chopping forests. So I'm trying to capture Kyp's swordsman right there. He kind of paraded out. I'm not sure quite why he did. He seems a little bit silly to me. Because he's essentially suiciding the unit. I don't think he killed anything I had, which is not a very good strategy. Find Beringer crater, which is pretty much on their side of the map, so that's pretty much going to be their natural wonder. They have set up their wall. We're not going to really get a settler by it. I'm trying to decide which unit I want to move first, and right now that was a ridiculous move right now, and you can see that was him dropping. I believe this is one of the first drops I've actually shown you guys in multiplayer. But anyway, we're back. We reloaded. We put out to the main menu and rehosted the game. Kyp Durron is back in the game. And obviously we don't include the moves that the AI did in the middle for his game. So I have my first companion cavalry out. It's a very nice unit. Thinking back, it probably would have been a better thing to settle on the gems. The city would have been a little bit more defensible, and I would have been able to get the extra hammer, would have been on the gems to get the happiness right away, wouldn't have had to improve the tile, would have been a lot nicer. And I make kind of a big mistake right here. I have a companion cavalry, which is a very nice unit. You don't want to waste that unit. And I pretty much throw this unit into the trash. It's because I'm not as experienced in using horseman units, so I know that the forest has 3 movement points, and so I assume I'll be able to move into the forest, take 3 movement points, attack him. I'll have 1 movement point left to be able to move back to safety, but unfortunately I forget that attacking into a hill takes 2 movement points, so I was out of movement points, and he was able to just kill me off with the warrior, which is a very bad mistake. So now he has a serious advantage around my city. As you can see, he's kind of surrounding it. He has quite a few units in the area, and I am in some doo-doo. So I suicide my scout into his warrior, because my teammate told me to. I think he didn't want to be killed off as easily. And right now I'm very concerned about my city. As you can see, they have 3 swordsmen outside of it, which would probably be enough to take it in about 2 turns there for its strength. And so the loss of the companion cavalry essentially means I am in a bad situation around that city. And so you see, at the end of the turn you want to attack so that they don't have your opponent doesn't have a chance to attack your weak units before you can fortify. I'm down to one strength in my city, so that means I'm probably losing it next turn, unless I'm able. I don't know. Something amazing would have to happen for me not to lose this city right now, because he has 2 units next to it, both of which would probably be able to take the city. I killed off 2 of his swords, but I lost the city. So I'm moving my worker out. It's always nice to be able to keep your workers. Don't just leave them in a city which you're going to lose. And as you can see, he was just able to take it with his warrior from behind. I had the swordsman up behind to kind of threaten his warrior, just in case he tried to take it with his, and just in case Kyp tried to take my worker with his warrior. And if you look at the little icons right now, you can see he's just going to raise it, and it'll only be raised in 1 turn, so I don't really have much time to take it back. And so it would cost me a lot to try to take it back, and I probably wouldn't, so I'm not going to. researching mathematics for some catapults. I tried to attack his warrior, but again, they get the first move on me, and I'm unable to do anything about it. Kill off one of his warriors, which is a poor payback for losing a city. And yet again, I'm going to train a replacement settler, and I'm going to rebuild that stinking city if it's the last thing I do. Who is it? Necro gave me an extra luxury he had, which will help me put me into some happiness. Actually, losing that city was kind of nice for my unhappiness. It put me back into normal happiness, and so now I'm able to grow a little bit. And the terrain I'm in, right where I want to found my new city, is just a really hard place to use companion cavalry. It's tight, there's mountain ranges in between, and it's all mountains. So it's really hard to run up really fast and attack and then retreat, because there's just not much space and it just costs too much to move. It'd be much more effective in an open area like the space between my capital and Guangzhou. Yep. There is a decent amount of waiting this game because they just have more cities than us right now. If you look at their scores, they have about 50% more score than we do, meaning they have more cities to manage, more stuff to do. And so Necro tells me he's good with companion cavalry. I'm like, alright, well I suck with companion cavalry, as you saw from my foray into the waiting arms of a killing warrior. As you can see, I'm last in pretty much all the demographics. I think Silent might have had a smaller army, but that's Kyp makes up for it with a bigger army. Because obviously, I lost 2 settlers, 2 cities essentially, and I haven't had time to improve many tiles, so I'm not doing very well. On the other hand, Necro seems to be doing alright. He has the Fountain of Youth fortified, so he'll be able to hopefully even keep more of anyone else's units getting next to the Fountain of Youth and being able to get the healing bonus. Because you get the bonus regardless of whether you own the Fountain of Youth or not, so you can sneak up to it and be next to it and get your holy water and be able to heal all this stuff. It'd be all cool. As you can see, Kyp has just a lot of swordsmen. He's set up his wall, and in fact he's pushing his wall a little bit forwards. So he's no longer in a defensive position, he's more in an attacking position, because he's, instead of being behind the hills, looking down on us, he's moving up to that front hill. And hopefully that'll mean my companion cavalry will be able to be more effective, because they won't have to go over a hill to attack. They'll be able to just, because they're right next to open, I'll be able to move up from really far, or further than they can see me, hit them and be back before they can do anything about it. So, yet again, in all of my stubbornness, I say, I'm gonna found that city if it's the last thing I do. It's a grumpy old man voice right there. Anyway. Companion cavalry looks pretty cool when China has it. Looks kind of like a ninja. Look at that thing. It's a silent knight or something. Oh yeah, I thought of something during the game that I wanted to do, but that'll have to wait for a little bit. Oh man, I just attacked a 1 health point warrior with a 4 point health point warrior, and it just died. Stupid warrior. I mean, really, it's a 4 hit point warrior attacking a 1 hit point warrior, and he loses 0 and I lose 4. I mean, what's up with that? That's crazy. Crazy talk. Ridiculous. If I were Japan, he would have died. And so now there's some bad stuff. It's looking bad for Argos, Argos, because he's brought a catapult, and there's really nothing at all I can do about it. It's in the mountains. It's protected by, or it's surrounded by swordsmen in the front. And if you think, I've thought about trying to sneak a horseman around behind, but that wouldn't really work either, because there's just so many hills they'd be able to get there, move some swordsmen up before I could. Anyway. Working on Liberty. Again, I don't get Liberty that quickly. I think because I lost my city. So I'm not getting the monument from that. I finally decided to build a barracks. Probably would have been a good idea to build a barracks a little bit ago. But a while ago I was just struggling to build military to defend myself, and now since there's a little bit of a point where I don't really need military, although if I think about it, Argos probably really needs military. Argos really needs military. But I decided I want to get my barracks in. You always want to get barracks in as soon as possible. So, as you can see, Argos is pretty much in trouble. Not a very good thing. I decided to switch to an archer because I need to get some ranged attacks to be able to damage those units. My swordsman is surrounded by his units. They're on opposite sides of him, so we'll have a hard time pulling out of there. I'm hoping that Necro will be able to attack the Jaguar with his companion cavalry and be able to allow me to pull out, and there he does, right there. And a pretty bad sequence of events occurred right there. Essentially what happened was his catapult attacked, his companion cavalry attacked his catapult, and he should have killed him, but he didn't. He did 9 damage, and he was able to heal instantly right away. And my sword, which had an instant heal, was about to heal, but it didn't, and it got killed off. And so, essentially they should have lost one. They could have lost one more unit, and we could have had one more unit. So that is a big swing in units right there. And we would have had pretty much complete control of the middle if we had been able to pull that off successfully. But since, he got bad odds, or a bad result, and I got a slow click, we were put in a pretty bad situation. Meanwhile, down by Argos, things aren't going very well. My city he has 4 swordsmen out there, and he'll have a hard time moving them around, but have a hard time getting to them. Anyway, I'm trying to sneak a companion cavalry around, but I decided it's not a very good idea. So I'm going to move him back. Let's see, if you look at score, Necro has gone over Kyp's score, but Silent Knight, I believe, has been building up much like he did in the France game. So he's building lots of stuff, not building that much military, just enough to hold Necro back, but nothing more. Whereas Kyp is going a little bit more all out at us building policy. And so right now my swordsman is kind of screwed. He's getting bombarded by the catapult, and he's gonna die soon. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to save him, and Argos. And even though we lost those 2 units we should have had in the middle, Necro is still kind of taking control of the middle. I think he's Kyp is focusing more on the bottom right now, on the bottom front. And right now, I think Necro's horseman would have a hard time killing off that catapult, even though he's only 2 tiles away because of the zone of control. And right now, Necro is building Stonehenge in one of his cities. I'm not quite sure why he's doing that. I believe he's gonna finish Liberty soon. I don't think it'll help him speed up. Oh, I need to move back. My swordsman is really damaged. He'll kill it off soon. Come on, move back, swordsman. Go, go! Ah. Too bad. Anyway. I kill off his swordsman too, so we trade. But since he has more, I can't accept an even trade because now he just has more. So if we keep on trading evenly, I'll have no units and he'll have a couple left over. So meanwhile, I get my catapult. We'll see if he'll be able to arrive in time. Need to move my swordsman back because they're just murdering it. And my city isn't that big strength, so it's not looking good for our Argos right now. We'll see if Necro will be able to bring in some reinforcements maybe from above. So we're researching machinery, but then we decide not to because who is he? Necro is going to get his free Great Person soon, and we'll use it on the Great Scientist to be able to just pop machinery with it. So we'll be able to get some Chokonus and hopefully make some offensive progress. And at this point, Argos is officially, completely, totally, inexorably screwed. It has 8 defense, maybe a little 9 defense with the swordsman in it. And he has a catapult, which will do incredible damage versus it, because it's a catapult with 11 strength, and then a 50% bonus versus cities. And so, I need to pull out of Argos as quickly as possible. Again, Stonehenge, why? You're attacking. He's attacking Silent Knight. He's working on taking a city there. Why? Oh well. I guess I've made plenty of mistakes in this game. I shouldn't be pot-calling the kettle black on building bad stuff in your cities. I'm trying to get the archer out to defend my city, but it looks like my archer will be a little bit too late to do anything at all. So I'm trying to move my swordsman, but instead the archer move. I'm really unsure why. I think I clicked on the swordsman, told it to move, but then while I was clicking, they took the city, so it cycled to the next unit. My archer moved. In short, that's what happened. So I have some companion cavalry around, which will hopefully be able to hold them off, and a catapult. I doubt they'll be able to take my capital right away. Necro has a little bit of an offensive edge on Silent Knight right now. Might be able to take Teotihuacan. As you can see, Silent has been focusing on economy, so he has some pretty good stats right now. And he has the edge. He's pretty much busted his silence defenses. Necro has busted silence defenses around the top, and so he has an open area he can work in, and he can heal more quickly because he has the Fountain of Youth. He's been next to the Fountain of Youth. I'm just trying to attack something with my companion cavalry to be able to try to make some offensive movement, but I just can't because they're fortified in hills, and that just gives them such a big bonus that I'd lose. I mean, so it would be in the hill, it would take up lots of movement points, it would just not be good. You can see right there the mountains are so effective at hiding catapults, because you can't go around because the mountains are blocking the way, the hills are blocking, so even if you could get around, it'd take a long time to move around. And it's just very tough to get to those catapults. So I try to attack the swordsman, but I pretty much fail. I'm trying to take attacks that I can take without losing any units, and there just aren't very many right now. He probably has a catapult set up behind him, so I know that I'd have to be able to ready to take a bombardment from a catapult. And then, holy moly, there comes his horseman and gallivants in and pillages my iron. So now I can't build any units, decent units which can fortify and kill stuff. Not good at all. I'll be able to kill him quickly, but my worker was out of the way, so it'll take him a couple of turns to get back, so I'll be on the defensive for those turns. And so it's looking less and less likely like I'll be able to take back Argos. When his horseman moves, he probably was trying to pillage my horses, even though I have extra horses, so it would have been alright, but that's where not having another source of iron hurts you. That spot on my capital, if I don't have a city in front of it, is just so vulnerable. That's one of the things I was trying to do with Argos, is protect my iron so that he wouldn't just be able to mark it, so that frontline wouldn't be on the iron, which it now is because he's taken that city. So I don't have any high strength units, so the best unit, or fortifiable unit, so the best unit I can use to protect that iron tile right now so he can't just step on it again, is my companion cavalry. And even though it can't fortify and it doesn't get a bonus for being in rough terrain, you'll have to do. Hopefully I'll be able to kill off anything that tries to attack it, and that'll be a veiled threat that will keep him from going for it. I think Kyp is helping Silent Knight cities a little bit. I'm trying to get some economy buildings up, but really, I need military, and I've needed military for the entire game, so building up economy buildings just wasn't viable for a lot of it. I mean, if I look at my city spots, I might have one extra spot for a city, which might work. I'm trying to set something offensive. I'm trying to get my catapult up so that I can like just bombard them. Hopefully get an offensive line. But then he just comes in and kills it with a horseman, which I didn't even know that was coming. I'm not really sure where that was. Maybe he was in Argos at the time. So that was very bad. Catapults are pretty nice. And right now I can't build iron units. I just can't because I don't have the iron. Or actually no, I just got my iron back. So I'll start building iron units right pretty soon as possible. Yeah, and if you look at my tech rate, it's ridiculous. 13. You can get that like turn 20 with a library in your capital. If you build the Great Library, you'll have that right away. So obviously, my tech isn't doing well. Other things I could have done in this game, I think I could have just
done better. I don't know. Kyp and Silent Knight are probably a better team than me and Necro are. I think Silent Knight is a little bit better than me, and Kyp is better than Necro. And so I'm trying to get my archer up towards Necro, but unfortunately I moved all my horsemen up to kind of block the way. And right now I'm just trying. I'm getting a little bit desperate. I'm trying to attack him. I'm trying to attack something. I need to do something to get an offensive movement back, but there's just no vulnerable units. They're all fortified in hills and such. We're just so far back I can't do anything. So more stuff I did wrong. Lost the settler. That put me on my heels the entire game. I was behind in military. It lost me a warrior. It made it so I had to rebuild a settler. And I mean, there's just so much more I could have done. It would have probably been nice to build one more city at least. Maybe one back behind me. There's a nice spot with a couple hills and a sugar, which I don't think I have. I wasn't wasting hammers on wonders I didn't need. And also I should have defended Argos better. Maybe founded it on a hill so I could get a catapult in it and just bombard them, so it was really damaging for them to try to take my city. I should have tried to get a catapult in Argos earlier. I would have liked to get a barracks in earlier, but I don't know if it was feasible because again, I was trying to build military units to desperately catch up. It would have been better to grow my cities earlier, but that's just, I didn't have workers to connect up my luxuries. My city down there, Sparta, the more I think about it, the less I like Sparta, because my goal was kind of hook up the marble, and I found it to a point where it took a very long time for it to hook up the marble. Maybe because I didn't build the monument very early. I don't know if it even has a monument right now. So you can see we're trading units back and forth. I'm trying to take out his units. I hope that Necro can take out that swordsman, but because my units are a bit damaged, but you know. So anyway, down there, I think the city was called Sparta. Its goal was to hook up what's called the luxury resource, marble, and it didn't. It still isn't hooked up, and so it kind of failed as a city because that was its kind of goal. It didn't have iron, it didn't have any other unique luxuries, and it didn't have any gold because it wasn't near a river. So it failed as a city. Failure. As for Corinth, that was pretty much a hammer city, so I like that city. I just should have placed my cities better. Also, Argos on a hill, so I could have gotten the bombardment. One problem with where Argos is that it's not on a hill. So it means that, hills block my my movement, my catapult fire. So I wouldn't, even if I had a catapult in the city, it would have only been able to attack units one tile away. I would have had to have it on, say, the gems tile, and then it would have only been able to attack one unit. So anyway, and also, of course, move your warrior before your settler. Harsh lesson of this game. Hook up more iron. I had plenty of horses. Horses are, I don't know, generally I have an easy time acquiring horses, maybe just because I don't build as many horse units. I would have liked to get more tile improvements up, more workers, but again, I wanted more of everything. Again, one more city. If I would have sent one of those wasted settlers that either got caught or turned into a city which got captured behind me, that would have been good. My teammate, Necro, he had both Serra de Potosi and the Fountain of Youth, and I think he should have been a little bit more enterprising. He should have used up his when you get the happiness, the goal of the happiness is not like to get golden ages, it's so you can build more cities. And he only has 4 cities. I believe he should have just been spamming cities behind us, even, just because he could, because he would be able to support it. He'd have more hammers. He has the happiness to do it. Probably shouldn't have built Stonehenge in the city, and I don't know. that's pretty much it. I wasn't watching him very closely. Anyway, we pretty much got outplayed this game. They had pretty much more of everything. And that just comes from being on your heels from losing a settler, in my opinion. As you can see, he has double the manufactured goods I have. He has the lowest army. I probably have the second lowest army. My teammate has the lowest army. So Silent Knight has been catching up. And I think because Silent is starting to switch into hammers, I believe that Necro is starting to get overwhelmed in his city, up in the Fountain City. I haven't even finished Liberty yet, which is not good. So, as you can see, Necro just lost Chocanu, which Kyp and Silent were very excited about. They told me afterwards. As you can see, he was faster than me. I just couldn't click fast enough to be able to kill that unit. And they just killed another one of the Chocanus. So that is pretty much... And he also lost his Great General, which is China's big bonus. And as you can see... Kyp has started to get some pikemen, which will be very nasty versus companion cavalry. There's essentially nothing I can do against a pikeman with a companion cavalry. They just die. So, that's not good. We're starting to siege Guangzhou. Moving Catapult up. Situation is not good. They built Himeji Castle. They banned the Great Wall this game. So we weren't going to get it. It causes a bug on certain people's computers, so they don't let us build it, not just because it's overpowered or anything, just because it just makes the game look like a bunch of gray tiles. And I managed to kill off a couple of horsemen, but unfortunately, they took Guangzhou. So, and finally, my first city has acquired the iron. So that was just me messing up the chat talk. I'm going to switch my hotkey to something. Anyway, that's pretty much the game. They quit. Or my teammate is out because he lost a city. Kind of a bad taste in your mouth because I messed up, and that kind of led to kind of a defensive game. But again, multiplayer, it's challenging, you know, and as you can see, they're getting Keshigs now. It's challenging, you don't always win, and that's something that I like, because it makes you feel so much better when you win, because it's actually something important. And yeah, in the end, just move your warrior before your settler, and all your problems will be solved.